So you know the menus from Sonic Origins? Sega actually said screw it and made that into a proper Sonic game, and I'm all here for it. Sonic Superstars is here, and it's none other than that 2D Sonic game that previously leaked and everyone was spreading rumors about. The game looks pretty solid, but is it really worth that $60 that Sega's pricing it for? I got some thoughts about it myself, plus some information that you guys might not already know, plus some gameplay that I'm sure most of you haven't seen yet, unless you've been stalking this game on the internet. So this is about to be a juicy video, but before all that, I need you guys to hit that like button and subscribe with the bell on, as it's free and it helps the channel out. It's tough out here for your boy, man. Anyway, let's get this bread. First, before anything else, I'm going to give you guys my actual thoughts on the trailer footage that was announced before we get to the juicy stuff. From what we've seen so far, this game looks like it's going to be a really decent entry into the Sonic franchise. Although we've gotten 3D classic Sonic done properly before in generations, we don't talk about forces. This is the first time they've outright decided to make a standalone 2.5D classic Sonic game. We don't talk about Sonic 4. And I have to say, it looks like they finally got Sonic slope physics accurate in 3D. Unfortunately, this is a 2D style game, not a 3D mainline title, so that might be a bit of an empty celebration. When I first saw the level design, I feared for the worst, because literally coming back from Forces and even Frontiers, which was a good Sonic game, we still had some of the most stiff, forced, automated sections known to man, but luckily that looks like that won't be in this game, which makes me very happy. The game's art style actually looks beautiful. It looks like one of these thumbnails you see on Blue Viva City or Sonic Central, but it's actually playable, and that in my opinion is really nice to look at. Multiple playable characters in a Sonic game is always welcome, especially after we literally had mostly just Sonic playable for about a decade, with a few exceptions of course, but thankfully we get all of Team Sonic playable. The Blue Rat himself, his sidekick Tails, my nigga Knuckles of course, big up my man, and surprisingly Amy Rose as well. There was previous discussion about how Amy was supposed to be playable in Sonic Origins, but is now going to be locked behind the Origins Plus DLC, which is kinda scummy if you ask me, but hey, she's playable in this game, and if you rush over to the website for Sonic Superstars, you can unlock another skin for her, which leads me to something important, but we'll talk about that in a bit. It looks like there's gonna be multiple special stages. We got this Spider-Man looking 3D swinging mechanic for the first one, and it kinda reminds me of Sonic Boom, and to be honest, I'm surprised that no one has made that comparison yet. But anyway, this looks like it's gonna be the main special stage that you actually play to get the Chaos Emeralds. The rest will most likely just be bonus stages for unlocking content in the game menu, such as artwork and sounds. The second special stage, or should I say bonus stage, is the boring ass rotating ball game from Sonic 1, which absolutely sucked, but the way it looks now, it's kinda grown on me, and I wanna see if they'll fix what made the original suck so bad. I'm surprised they picked this one and not that half pipe from Sonic 2, but I guess they want to make a variety of different special stages, and maybe 2 3D looking ones might be too much? Just a guess though. The third one is this very retro voxel looking cyberspace stage where the player can turn into squids? I have to say, that's kinda cool. Yeah, it's doing the overdone super retro pixel art thingy that corporate companies like to show, but you know what? This doesn't look so bad, so I'm actually gonna let it slide. Now, here's something that really caught me off guard in this trailer. This game is gonna have up to 4-player co-op and not even split screen either. They're gonna implement this the same way Rayman Origins and Legends did it, which is absolutely strange when you consider this is a Sonic game. Yeah, it's nice that other players can literally hop in and out at any time in this game, but how's that gonna work when the characters are reaching max speed? I'm actually interested to see how they're gonna implement that. I fear that they might have to nerf Sonic's speed a little, which if that's true, that would suck very much, but overall, I'm more happy that there is co-op and multiplayer in the first place than there not being any, especially in a $60 games like this. Oh yeah, and to round off the trailer, Fang the Sniper, or Knack the Weasel, or whatever you want to call him, was lurking behind the trees, but I think we all noticed that after watching the trailer like 50 times, come on man. So now, we got to talk about some stuff that was outside the trailer. Where can I even begin? Well, let's begin with the good news, my friends. Sonic Superstars will be, I get this, the first Sonic game in literal years to only have brand new stages. No green hill or chemical plant in sight at all. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. In an interview with Takashi Iizuka, aka the big boss of Sonic. He said, in Sonic Mania, Green Hill Zone changed up a little bit. Even in Sonic Origins, we did have Green Hill as part of Sonic the Hedgehog, but what we really wanted to do with Sonic Superstars is create something new, go in there and create these brand new islands that you get to explore as Sonic. We wanted to take Sonic to the brand new North Star Islands and have Sonic run around in this new environment. So we wanted to make brand new places for Sonic to go in this title. Well, there we go. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. There's no Green Hill. There's gonna be no rehashing, and personally I think that's excellent news. We've all had enough of nostalgia, and I think it's high time for Sonic to make new memorable stages instead of just relying on the old ones. Now, looking at some outside footage provided by some channels which I'll credit on screen, it looks like the Chaos Emeralds have the ability to grant users more powers than just Super Sonic. There's a blue power that now literally grants the Zora Armor Waterfall ability from Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and I know I'm probably not the first YouTuber to mention this or the last, but it had to be said. After you collect the emerald though, you're given a new ability, so like the Zora Armor thing, the waterfall, and taken to this small area where you can actually test it out and get used to the controls. And this honestly sounds great because this could lead to some really creative level design that we haven't seen before in previous Sonic games, whether classic or modern. There's also new footage of the game's intro cutscene, but it's not in HD, but it's out there at least. But in case you guys are worried about spoilers, I'm not going to put the entire thing in this video, just small snippets here and there. All I have to say though is, after seeing this cutscene, it feels like Sega is trying to cash in on the success of Sonic Mania and make a sequel that completely blows it out of the water. And that's okay! Sonic Mania was a critical success, and it'll be foolish of Sega to not try and recreate that success. Although this game has a drastically different art style to Sonic Mania, it still has the same vibe, so their plan's working, I guess? Now, there was some extra footage uploaded in HD, and it's the footage that I'm using in this video. This was uploaded to IGN Japan, which isn't even the first time. I remember they supplied us with HD Frontiers footage when we were starving, so you know they had to come through again. Although it was brand new at the time of writing the script, now a couple of days have passed and everyone and their brother has now seen it, so I'm sorry about that guys, I kinda dropped the ball on that one. But still, let's talk about that footage because there might have been some interesting things that I've spoiled here and there that you guys might have missed. So let's get to it. In this footage you can see classic Sonic rail grinding properly. He's not in a ball like in Generations, and it actually appears to be momentum based, which was surprising, but it's a good surprise though. When the trailer first dropped, almost everyone I knew assumed the rail grinding would be automated, but it looks like you can walk normally to charge it up, and when you have enough speed, Sonic starts to grind, which is pretty cool. This tweet by user Caramel Smoothie contains a bit of footage from the game, and you can actually see that dash pads in the loop are working quite differently to previous Sonic games. Usually when there's a dash pad on the floor, you can only go through it, right? Can't go the other direction, it just wouldn't let you, the automation wouldn't let you. But in Sonic Superstars, it looks like you'll be able to go both ways, which is pretty cool. It opens up new places to explore, you can go back and backtrack if you missed anything. You won't be forced to have to do the whole level again, which is pretty great. I remember that's one of the biggest gripes that people have been complaining about Sonic games, that all the automation, it was really bad in Forces, and even in Frontiers there was a little bit, but that's honestly a good step. That's a good step in the right direction. Plus, we all knew that Flickies were returning to this game as it's a classic Sonic style game, but there's actually going to be giant Flickies, as you can see in this clip.
I'm the biggest bird, I'm the biggest bird, I'm the biggest bird, I'm the biggest bird.
Bro is actually the biggest bird. Now, if there's gonna be giants of every Flicky, including birds and rabbits, hear me out on this. But that means Big Chungus is coming to Sonic Superstars. Big Chungus is coming to Sonic Superstars. This is not a drill. Lock your doors and hide your children. He is coming to Chung everywhere. But my friends, it's time to address the elephant in the room. In this footage, you can hear Sonic 4 music. Oh no, please let this be a placeholder. And before you mention the fact that T-Lopes, our favorite fan composer turned official, just dropped a heavy hint that he's actually involved with this game, it looks like he's only going to be assisting Jun Tsunoi of Crush 40 with the music. Usually Jun Tsunoi makes banger music, but what he did for Origins was completely unacceptable. Like, listen to this. if this is the music in the final version of the game, I'm gonna need some modders and fan composers on the scene ASAP, because this absolutely cannot run at all. I was even optimistic at first about the music, but after finding out some recent information, I had to go back and edit this script for the video so I can get this accurate information out to you guys. So yeah, big man thing is not looking good, bruv.
It's not looking good.
But thankfully I can actually be confident about the gameplay itself, because did you know that one of the original creators of Sonic is working on this game? And this is the first Sonic game that he's officially worked on since Sonic Adventure? No, I'm not talking about the guy in jail who made Battle in Wonderworld. I mean the other one. Naoto Oshima, one of the masterminds behind Sonic, is working on this game, and it shows. If you use Twitter, and I feel sorry for you if you do, you can find tweets with literal side-by-side comparisons of the physics from the original classic Sonic games and Sonic Superstars, and it's literally one-to-one. This game is going to play so smooth. This should have been the official Sonic 4. Yeah, I refuse to believe the real one exists, even if episode 2 was slightly better, but with his return, we're getting Fan the Sniper back, and a brand new character that will be accompanying Dr. Eggman, or should I say Robotnik? This canon is confusing, but anyways, the game is guaranteed to be a banger completely. Now, with all the buzz about this, we have got to look back at our old friend Zippo, because he predicted almost all of this yet again. It's crazy that the Sonic fandom has had a love-hate relationship with this guy, and this is definitely not the first time he's been mentioned on this channel, but recently he's been on fire. He basically predicted Frontiers rehashed levels in cyberspace, and he definitely had some things to say about this game. Let's have a little read at what he said. As you can see, he made a post on May the 28th, 2023. What is Sega cooking? I'm gonna skip to the Sonic section. We're not even gonna take a look at the rest of the leaks. Maybe that's for another video. But what I really want to get your attention on is this post right here that says Sonic the Hedgehog 5. The biggest rumored project, of course, is the one I talked about in early 2021. The next mainline Sonic title is indeed being billed as a return to the Advance and Rush series. That said, I've never been told what the title of this game is, which is why I use Sonic 5 in quotation marks. I genuinely hope they don't call it that. They did that 13 years ago, and that blew the hell up in their face. It's been 13 years? That is crazy. But anyway, all that title would do is enormously inflate expectations, and that's never good for any game, sequel or not. Hopefully it gets a title that allows it to stand on its own. Anyway, this game makes the most sense for it to announce. A traditional back to basics Sonic game is not something we've had in quite a while, so I'm all here for it. The only thing I can add to my previous reports is that Amy will indeed join the boys in their next adventure, so that makes 4 characters so far. Hopefully there'll be more than that, but that's a discussion for when the game is actually announced, which it has been. Let's go. And then the rest goes on to talk about DLC, and then that's basically the end of the post. So now we've read that, let's go to the update post. What did he say after the game was revealed? It's quite short, but he says, well, there it is. And you can see this was made on June 9th, aka when the thing was revealed. It's finally here. Hard to believe, but after 2.5 years, we finally got an announcement of the next 2D Sonic. Gotta say, my worries were proven wrong. This game looks freaking awesome. I'm generally shocked by how good it looks. Funnily enough, this game is not on Mania 2, but it looks like it's a follow-up to Generation/Forces instead. Everything I heard about this game was right, except for one major thing, of course. That's Zippo luck for you. The madmen actually went for the classic era instead of the modern era. I'm generally happy about that, but that's definitely not something I expected, considering where we are today with this franchise. Classic has a future, and it's not just merch, and I cannot explain in words how great that is. Actually, my man actually cooked. His sources were correct. Although the one thing he got wrong was that he said it was going to be a modern game, and it turned out to be a classic game, which I'm bummed out about as well. Like, I really wanted a new Sonic Rush adventure style game, and it's kind of disappointing that we got a classic one instead, but the game still looks fire. And if you do want modern characters playable that bad, apparently Amy is going to have an unlockable modern skin, which you can unlock by going to the website before, like, I don't remember the date. I'll put the date on the screen, but yeah, just go to the Sonic Superstars website before the deadline and unlock their skin, and you can get modern Amy. But that means if there's modern Amy, there's also modern Sonic, modern Tails, modern Knuckles. the entire cast. So I'm curious to see how they'll implement these characters and if they'll play the same, if they'll have different abilities. Honestly, the ball is in Sega's park, man. I want to see how this turns out. But yeah, that's crazy. I think it's fair to say right now that Sonic Twitter owes Zippo an apology because bro actually came through. But anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here because this is a pretty hefty video already and I got 2 more on the backlog plus more planned. But Temzy, I hear you ask, is the game worth the cop? You know, the entire reason we clicked on the video? Well, here's my answer. With the information we know and all the footage we've seen, if you are a hardcore fan of classic Sonic or even a casual gamer with friends that liked Sonic, pick this up day one, especially if you have people to co-op with. From what I've seen personally and what I've heard on the grapevine, you're absolutely going to enjoy this game, and until I see footage that shows otherwise, I stand by this claim. This game is looking to have fresh content, beautiful cutscenes, and just a brand new Sonic experience that might have been what you guys have been looking for. But if you're more of a modern fan, however, or you're really just worried about that price tag, I'd suggest to wait until this game is on sale. Makes sense, right? You're not really that fired up to play it, but at the same time you kinda still want to try it out. So trust me when I say there will be sales. This isn't Nintendo, man. This is Sega we're talking about, especially as this game isn't looking like a mainline title developed by Sonic Team. So sooner or later there will be a sale. Just hang in there. But yeah, that's it for this video. So all I ask of you guys now is that you dap up the like button and bless me with a subscribe if you enjoy this content. And I'll see you guys next time. Temzy out. Peace.